So Kelly and I had the opportunity to sit in on a keynote presentation by Scott Greenberg, who gave a very energetic talk. And one of the things that he was talking about was why some leaders get better results using the same tools. And he talked about that there are three different factors that contribute to the success of a person, including circumstances, which sometimes you have control over, sometimes you really don't. For example, something like weather. Operations, which you have control over some aspects of your nursery or greenhouse operation, but you don't have control over others. And then mindset, which you definitely have control over and you can change. So Kelly, I'd love to hear more about mindset.
Well, exactly. He did launch into 5 ways to achieve a high performance mindset. And one of the first ways he said was to clear your head of clutter. And one thing that he mentioned that stood out to me was silence the mental heckler. We all have one of those from time to time that tells us we're not good enough or smart enough or our business isn't good enough. So he said you've got to clear that clutter and just silence that mental heckler.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that he even had people texting him with all of those the negative things that they're saying to their head. And I mean, it's like you hear all of those and you think, wow, I have thought some of those very same things. So I thought it was interesting. And then the next one is he was talking about how you need to do continual improvement in order to achieve success. You can't just say, hey, I've learned enough, things are going well. Just like when you're heating your home, if you want to achieve a temperature of, say, 72 degrees, you get there and you say, okay, it's 72 degrees. We're going to go ahead and turn off the heat and let it get cold again. But one of the examples that I really liked was where he talked about digital natives versus digital immigrants. So he was saying digital native is somebody, like your kids who grew up with a cell phone in their hands and using computers, versus a digital immigrant who's somebody, for example, like my parents who just started using smartphones a few years ago and had to learn those skills. And he was saying that if you don't continually try to improve, you're going to get stuck behind and you're going to really end up behind the curve. And he says it's uncomfortable and it's something that we don't like to do, but if we don't do it, then we're really not going to get anywhere. And he said that what happens in the rearview mirror makes you feel better, but it's what happens outside of the windshield that is really what matters. So what else?
He also talked about caring for your culture. He said something about using intrinsic motivation, and I wasn't quite sure what he meant by that, but he explained it as you need to light a fire within your team, not light a fire under your team. So that certainly is a excellent management strategy that anybody here at the show or anybody watching the video could certainly try in their operation.
Oh, absolutely right. So then he talked about the fourth factor, which he said was to serve others. And he said that oftentimes when we're at a company, we think, oh, well, we're all here to serve the CEO. When in reality, he said, you're there to serve your customer, and everyone should be on board with that mission. And you're working for the customer, not the CEO. So he said that people should be looking at things as how they can improve the lives of those around them, whether it be a supplier, a vendor, a client, or a customer, or a coworker, rather than just saying, I'm just working for the CEO, just trying to get my job done. So I think there was one more factor.
There was. The last one was actually my favorite. It was have gratitude. You need to have a grateful heart no matter the situation, in good and in bad, because even when you think things are going bad, that may be carving a path for you for bigger and better things. In fact, it almost always is, depending on your mindset, going back to what he started with that mindset. So being grateful was probably my favorite point of the morning.
Yeah, overall, I thought it was a really great keynote, and it was very energetic, so it truly lived up to its name of a morning jolt. If you'd like to see more videos from Cultivate 18 and other events we attend, please visit our websites.